Hello. Coming, guys. Hello. Coming. Thank you so much. Welcome to Love Night with Spice. See ya. You wanna see your face, yeah. In the morning, in the night, every time I call, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Yeah. And anytime when I'm calling, make you pick up the phone, but you know that I need you. Yes, I need. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Kindly click the like and share on the screen. Let's have more people. It's like my Caribbean is not bright. Let's link up. I want to see you. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I do appreciate you coming. I want to see you. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. Welcome. Coming, guys. Welcome. It's a beautiful week. Amazing week. Monday. Annie's inside. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you, Queen. Coming. Can you give me a thumbs up, Annie? Good evening, Tanya Brown. Oh, my beautiful Tanya. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Collins, welcome. Okay, let's go. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you all. Thanks for the thumbs up. Welcome. Yeah, thank you so much, Annie inside, Tanya Brown, Collins, Cornelius, my darling husband. Welcome. Thank you, guys. Welcome to Love Night with Spice. Yeah, Tanya, to start with, I searched you on Facebook and I saw a lot of Tanya Brown. So I don't know which one is you. So I couldn't go ahead to call or send message. So please, sweetheart, I'm begging you. I really need to get in touch with you. Give me, I'm gonna drop my husband is gonna drop my Facebook account here. Okay, so you send me a message so I know which one is your Queen. Okay, please. Gabriela, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you, gorgeous Queen. Welcome. Give me a thumbs up as you come in. Yes, sweetheart, help me drop my Facebook link. That is okay. Yeah, so she can get the spelling right. Send me a message, Queen. Okay, or Instagram, Linda Blessing is okay. Welcome everyone to Love Night with Spice, and the spirit of Halloween, I have decided to bring something spooky. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's a video I uploaded this morning. Yeah, Kilinda, obrigada, meu amor, obrigada. Beijos para você. Yeah, in the spirit of Halloween, I'm bringing something spooky. I made a video this morning on a spiritual husband. There's a video of a lady that granted interview to Dada Freeze, and she made a lot of revelation. She revealed a lot of things about her spiritual husband and her encounter with him physically, and it left me, it left me with goosebumps, and I was like, oh my god, this is really spooky. But I know from the comment, a lot of people are saying that they've never had any encounter like that, be it in the dream or physically. So which is why I decided to treat this topic here today. Welcome, Priska and Juma. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Priska. welcome. Jimmy Priska, welcome. Thank you so much. Please, guys, as you come and give me a thumbs up. And I said, whoa, okay, it's better we come discuss it because it's obvious that spirit husband and spirit wife really do exist. But we are so scared of talking about it, either due to stigma or fear. I don't know which one. A lot of people don't want to talk about their spirit husband. They don't even want their partner to know that they have something like a spiritual husband, or their spiritual husband is tormenting them, or their spirit wife is tormenting them. So they kind of keep it low key. Yeah, Annie's inside. We don't celebrate Halloween in Nigeria. Who Halloween help? My sister. Yesterday in was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, in Turkey, in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken. 147 people died in the course of this Halloween. While they are celebrating the dead, we'll have more dead bodies waiting to be buried in Seoul. Yeah, in Seoul. And so 147 people, are maybe counting, have died due to stampede and other issues due to this the too many crowd there. So Halloween is not our thing. But I know spirit husband, spirit wife, a lot of Africans can really relate to that. How do one know he or she has a spiritual husband or spiritual wife? We are going into that. Stick around, okay? Take the front seat and it's inside so you don't miss out anything. Because I know a lot of people have had their encounter. Some may have not seen their spiritual husband physically, but they've had encounter. They felt the presence of their spiritual wife or their spiritual husband. And we cannot deny this fact. No matter what pastors come out to tell you today, look, we are going to be stating some truth. And if you know you've had that encounter, please, it is better you speak out, okay? You never can tell where help might be coming from. You never can tell who might be watching this and reach out. You never can tell who is going to drop good advice or counsel. That is why this is a live stream. I can't do it in a short video because I know in a short video, so many people will not be able to, talk or give their opinion or drop so many comments. So, but on live stream, we'll be able to share our diverse opinion about this. So going back, what do we even understand about spiritual husband and spiritual wife? If does anybody know? In the chat here, have you had an encounter with yours, either via dream or vision or whatever? Going back in the days while we were young ladies in our teens, anytime we go to church, especially during deliverance, when a strong man of God is coming around, and we go for crusade and this revivals, in fact, let me even use 95% of women who come out there, the pastors do say that they have spiritual husbands, and even the men are told that they have spiritual wives. And they tell them the reason and how they get to know that they have spiritual husband. In the course of interviewing them, or in the course of trying to talk to them, you see the women will say, yes, they do have encounter with their spiritual husband. Either the man will come to the dream and fire them very well. I don't want to use the word sex, bench them very well. Aquí celebramos Halloween. Really? Whoa. I don't think anything is going on here in Brazil on Halloween. It's on a very low key, maybe due to the elections. So, like I was saying, so back then, they'll ask the women, they say the spiritual husband do come to them in a dream and they have great intercourse, and these guys are usually very, very good in the bedroom. Now that leaves chill, right? But it is the truth. I've equally had one or two conversations with some friends, and they told me what their pastors have told them on spiritual husbands, how they have not been able to get married due to their spiritual husband. Because according to my research, what I'm able to gather, spiritual husbands are very, very jealous people. They are very, very jealous beings. I'd rather use the word beings. They are very jealous beings. Spiritual wife, spiritual husband. If you don't relate with them very well, you don't understand and they acknowledge their existence, they're going to make life so tough and miserable for whoever that person is. And since I say sometimes the spiritual spouse don't meet with them at night, some they delay them from getting married physically. Absolutely. Yes, 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 Annie. Yeah, delay in marriage is one of the things. Anytime a young lady that have crossed the age of marriage, they have approached 30 and no suitor, or maybe a suitor comes around and there's something is going to happen, the suitor leaves immediately, or they will just have a fight or a breakup, and they'll look back and ask, what is going on? When they go for deliverance, it is seen that they have a spiritual husband who is battling every man that comes into their life and prevents them from getting married, because they have not really known what is wrong with them. They've never really acknowledged the presence of the spiritual husband. And until they do, this spiritual husband keeps destroying their relationships. And for those women who even eventually gets married, they frustrate them out of marriage. What I gather, because I am an Omen and adherent, okay, and I do a lot of learning online, both one-on-one, and I consult some who are knowledgeable in this field. Tanya said, what if you are married and he is not your spiritual husband? Okay, you cannot marry your spiritual husband physically. You can only marry him spiritually. And spiritually, they get jealous. Hello, the board fights. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome. I appreciate you. They get jealous and they don't want your physical husband to be there. So they keep causing problems and breaking marriages, or keep creating problems between husband and wife. Sometimes it could be that they will make the man repulse the woman, or make the woman repulse the husband for no reason. Maybe when they were dating, things were all nice and fine, and eventually they get married. In the first year of marriage, the spiritual husband may keep quiet and just be ignoring them. And then, few months or few years into the marriage, the spiritual husband will begin to attack and make the couple start having constant fight and quarrel. They don't know where this is coming from. Some don't know where this is coming from. Just little petty things can just make them break up, or make them part ways or separate. Some, they even frustrate them from conceiving. Some, they make them have multiple miscarriages. When the woman conceives, the spiritual husband, out of jealousy, make sure she loses the pregnancy. And this thing goes on until the woman begins to ask questions, either traditionally or runs to a church for deliverance. Now, it's not just the women alone, even the men. When they meet any good woman, any nice, the spiritual husband will ensure that the spiritual wife will ensure that she breaks the relationship between them. Cornelius says, spirit husband or wife is not like other indwelling spirit, which one can easily cast out with the name of Jesus, and it stays out unless you first return everything you collected from them. Yeah, but a lot of people don't know they even collected anything from their spiritual husband or from their spiritual wife. They're ignorant of this, the existence in the first place. They don't even know that there's something called spiritual husband or spiritual wife. I know a lot of people will come out to say, no, I don't believe in spiritual husband, I don't believe in spiritual wife. Sometimes what you don't know, you don't know. That's the truth. And for those who believe the existence, they know what to do. They know what to do and how to appease the spirit husbands or spirit wife. For those who know, who are traditional worshippers, or those who, even the white garment churches, there are some churches, not just the only white garment churches, Seventh-day Adventists, and some of these, let me just generalize them, white garment churches, Sabbatarians and the rest. They know the sacrifice they go to make to appease the spirit husband and the spirit wife. They take some sacrifices, some things that will appease them so that they can let them live and enjoy their marriage alone. See, no matter how much a woman goes for deliverance, they keep binding and casting spiritual husbands. Yet, what is happening to that woman keeps happening. What is happening to the man keeps happening to the man. Every day, pastors conduct deliverance. In fact, like I was saying, during crusade, while we were young, we'll go for crusade. They will say we have spiritual husband. You will go for crusade. Every crusade, every deliverance, spiritual husband. They cast and cast and cast. It got to a point where me personally, the pastor will lay hand on my head and I will even give in to the falling. Why? Because I am tired. I am tired of the falling, tired of the deliverance, the prayer. Some of them pour saliva in the cause of, the way they are praying and binding, hitting your head, out, and all that. So we give in to the falling, so that they can assume that the spiritual husband has left and we fell. Next crusade or deliverance, they will still call us out again that we have spiritual husband. Honestly, it's very funny because this might be from what we hear from all these churches, I gather that they are practically as guides and protector. Okay, yes, that is what you gathered, and that's because of your belief. You understand? There are a lot of people who go to church today don't believe the existence of spiritual husband and wife. But when they go to churches, they still bind and cast spiritual husbands from them. Every time a beautiful woman goes for deliverance and she's unmarried, the first thing the pastor will tell her is, your spiritual husband is disturbing you. Spiritual husband wouldn't let you get married. Spiritual husband is on your case. Every time, in fact, check it. Any beautiful woman that goes for deliverance is assumed that she has spiritual husband. And in fact, it was when you are fair in complexion. So if you are fair in complexion, better start asking questions if you have spiritual husband, because they say spiritual husbands love beautiful wives. So they marry the best of the best, the most beautiful women out there. That is the women they get married to spiritually. So, this deliverance keeps going on and up. Some people have resorted to seeking for traditional help. Going to DBS, they have DBS, they have herbalists, so they go to them to know what exactly is happening. And most times they tell them what is wrong with them. Yes, it is the same spiritual husband the pastor told them. The same spiritual wife the pastor told them is the same spiritual husband that is disturbing them. So, but in the case of the traditional worshippers, some people call them idol worshippers, but they are not idol worshippers. I would rather use the term traditional worshippers. Okay, Ndi omenana. So in the case of these people, they give solution, like they tell you what to do to appease them so they can leave you alone. But like in the case of the church goers, the pastors will tell the women that, they can bind and cast. And in most cases, they actually ask them to go and bring some things. Yes, to bring chicken, bring goat, bring egg, bring this, bring that. I have witnessed countless number of deliverance on spiritual husbands and spiritual wives. I have witnessed a lot in the course of all these our movements. Yes, I've been to Mountain of Fire severally, fasting and prayer, done all the deliverance, done everything that needed to be done, and alas, a spiritual husband that wants to remain is going to remain, and the one that wants to leave you peacefully will leave you peacefully to enjoy your marriage. No wonder Jesus says, give to Caesar what belongs to him. Don't be deceived. You can't owe him and ask him to go. Return them through the help of a true seer, but don't try to appease or beg them. They can't be appeased. Really, they can't be appeased. I thought when you take these sacrifices to them, you are going there to beg them, to appeal to them, to let you be. Cornelius, I thought that is what it means. Like when you take all the sacrifice that you have been asked to, that maybe a chicken, maybe sugar, maybe drink, coconut, eggs, and all those things. When you take it to them, there are some prayers that one is being asked to make, and with those prayers, you are begging them to please let you go so you can enjoy your marriage peacefully. Mark and Chanel, welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Okay, love guys from Jamaica, welcome. Thank you so much. Please kindly give me a thumbs up, okay? Mark and Chanel, it's the first time I'm seeing you in my house. Please connect to me and leave me a comment so I can get back to you, please, okay? So if you're a content creator, connect to me, I'll get back to you. So now this is it. This is what I know from my consultations and from my questions and learning. I've learned that they can only be appeased in the sense that you can't force them, you can't shout at them, you can't force them to leave. You can only appeal to them and beg them that you are a physical being. And because you're a physical being, you are married to a physical being, which is your husband, or you want to be married to a physical being, and you're begging them to let you be and live peacefully with your physical husband. And then sometimes there are certain things you need to do to cut ties, maybe from them, depending on who is doing the deliverance or who is doing the casting or who is doing the sacrifice for you. So now in the case of men, what I gathered for those men who have spiritual wives, if they don't know that they have spiritual wife, remember from what I gathered, from what I know, you might know something different, okay? That is why this live stream is here, for diverse opinion, so that we can share our knowledge, our wisdom, our understanding, and our opinion with one another. Let me know what you know. You are free to share it with me here on the live stream, and not just with me, with everyone here. Your insight is very, very, and your opinion is very welcome. Welcome, Gusuma Barrier. Woo! Welcome, Queen. I appreciate you. Please, guys, kindly give me a thumbs up as you're coming in, okay? Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget, please. Welcome. So, as for the men, if they are yet to know that they have a spiritual wife, okay, and they go ahead to marry a physical woman they like, the spiritual wife might get very jealous. First of all, what she begins to do is to crumble the man's business. Yes. A man who is so successful, a man who is doing so well, suddenly, the moment he gets married, business begins to go bad, contracts begin to fail. He will either lose his job or have multiple accidents, but he won't die in the process. You know, he will go through a lot of challenges until he begins to ask questions. And you know, the answer is your spiritual wife is fighting you. You have to appease her, or you have to go for deliverance. Yes, men too do have spiritual wives, and yes, they do exist. Believe it. Believe it. Because if they don't exist, pastors all over the world will not be praying against spiritual husbands and wives. So their existence, I mean, collectively we know they exist. There is no two ways about it. There is no doubt about their existence. Okay, so I'm asking again for those who are coming in, do you know anything about spiritual husband, spiritual wife? Have you had any encounter? What do you know? What have you heard about spiritual wife and spiritual husband? Feel free to drop it in the comment section. Okay, have you gone for any deliverance where they told you have a spiritual husband or where you have a spiritual wife? Drop it in the chat here. And what you know, please come and feel free to come and share it with me here and with everyone here, because we learn daily. This is me sharing what I know here. So in the course of this man becomes frustrated. That is why you see some men, they say he married a bad woman. That is why the moment she came into his life, she has destroyed his life. Things begin to turn upside down for the man. Businesses begin to crumble. A man doing so well suddenly begin to fall sick, and everyone will point at the wife. They say the woman is a bad woman. That is why she brought bad luck. Yes, I've seen women who they marry, innocent women, being accused of being bad wives, coming with demonic spirit that is attacking the man. It is not the wife. It is the spiritual wife of her husband that is attacking, because she has not been appeased. She has not been, they've not appeased her, as you know, to allow, you know, them get married. They, like I said, they can be very, very jealous. And somebody who is jealous, you can't fight the person. The only thing you can do for me is to appease the person, to let you be. Now, like this thing I shared this morning, the video I shared this morning between the woman and the priest, she revealed a lot of things. How the spiritual husband even, you know, appeared to her physically. Yes, she said up until now, the spiritual husband, her spiritual husband still appears to her. She lives abroad, but the guy still comes to her abroad even. She can be in her room and the guy will come in. And then she had to beg the guy that, because, you know, she's asthmatic and then blood pressure and all that he should stop appearing to her like that. He should rather knock so that she will prepare herself. He should come in like a normal person. The guy has revealed himself to her in several ways. Now she has come to terms with it. She has made peace with that. She has accepted that this guy exists and he's not fighting her. He has broken her marriage. Yes, he broke her marriage when she was, you know, forcefully trying to get married. He had to make her start bleeding for 13 months. She was in the hospital and the date of her marriage passed by. Both her traditional marriage and her white wedding were missed because she was in the hospital. Bleeded for 13 good months until the man now left. They had to beg the man. Where she went to, her family had to start asking questions. What is happening? They went the traditional way and they told the man that this is what is happening. Let this woman be, otherwise she's gonna die. If you don't let her be, she will die through this. So just let her be. Forget about the marriage. Let the spiritual husband be appeased. And that way, her life was spared. And she has made peace with her spiritual husband. She has come to accept, that, okay, this man is there. And she's begging him now to, when the right time comes. Because according to the spiritual husband, to her spiritual husband, some of the men coming her way are coming for selfish reasons. So he's there to guide her and to protect her from these wolves. Yes, he's there to protect her. That when the right man comes, he will give way. Now that they have an understanding. Sometimes she will sleep and she will feel water on her hair, whereas she didn't go swimming. It's not sweat. She will feel her hair so wet, like she went swimming. Due to shock her. The guy showed himself, revealed himself, until physically she started seeing the guy, and the guy will just vanish. He will come, speak with her, they'll have lengthy conversation, and then he will leave. He will appear again. So from time to time, he appears to her physically. I know not so many people, like in the course of researching on this, some people say, yes, they have seen their spiritual husband physically, but he doesn't come all the time. He appears once in a while. And there are those who don't see physically, but they feel the presence, like they're seated down, and they will feel the presence of another being seated beside them. Sitting on the bed, they feel the bed, somebody sat. You know how you sit on the bedside and then somebody sit beside you, can feel that side of the bed sinks in. And they do feel it. And they do feel the breeze of a spiritual being past them. They do hear voices. And most often times they see them in the dream. Most often times that is the general one. They see them in the dream. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. Like I'm saying, guys, what have you heard? Haven't you heard anything about spiritual husbands? Come on, drop what you know in the chat here. We are here to learn. What you know, I may not know. And what I know, you may not. We are here to rub minds together. Personally, I believe the existence of spiritual husbands. Yes, I do. I do, because growing up, apart from the pastors saying it, apart from the pastors trying to deliver spiritual husband from my life, I am my friends, my sisters, like anytime we go, they will always point out there is a being that is in existence in your life. There is a being, and they will do everything. Pray, fast. They have given me multiple fasting to do. Fasting and prayers to do. I have done a lot. Yet, anytime I go back, they say there's a spiritual husband. And like I said, if you are fair in complexion, forget it, you automatically have a spiritual husband. So they begin to conduct deliverance. And it seems as if the White Garment Church really know more about the spiritual beings, their existence. Welcome, Kazim Ayodele. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming, Kazim. Please give me a thumbs up, Kazim, and connect to the family. If you're a content creator, let me know, please. Let me know in the chat if you are a content creator, okay, so I can check back on you. But please give me a thumbs up, okay? We are discussing spiritual husband and spiritual wives. Because this has been what a lot of couples are dealing with. They are fighting with this. They are having issues in their marriages. But because they don't want to accept that these beings do exist, it becomes difficult to find solutions, because they say what you know, a problem known is half solved. What you know already is going to help you to find solution to that problem. If you don't know, or you're living in denial, finding solution might be very difficult, especially for those who don't believe it. Even though they don't believe it, their pastors keep saying it. So for a pastor to be saying it, and a traditional worshiper is saying it, and then a Sabbatarian or the White Garment churches are equally saying this. They're equally saying it. That means collectively, these people believe the existence. It's not left for you to find a solution, find a way to live in harmony with a spiritual husband or the spiritual wife. I was saying, until the man does something, for a man who has a spiritual wife, until he goes to begin to appease her, by either sometimes they tell him what to buy for the spiritual wife. Yeah, Tanya, thank you so much for staying with me. I appreciate you, Queen. Sometimes they tell them what to buy. It could be clothing. They say they love shiny, beautiful stuff, colorful stuff, okay? So some people will have to take some white, shiny stuff, beautiful stuff, jewelry, sweet things to the water to appease their spirit wife. Until that is done with some prayers, the spiritual wife will always be there, tormenting and breaking up every relationship they find themselves into. Every relationship they find themselves into. Yes, even in the Catholic Church knows about it. Yes, the Catholic Church do know about it. I mean, I grew up in Catholic Church, and this deliverance, I'm telling you, this crusade, they're all in Catholic Church. Yes, they're all in Catholic Church. So every church believes the existence of a spiritual husband. So why should we now live in denial, pretending they don't exist? Pretending they don't exist instead of finding solutions. Sometimes you see a man who doesn't want to touch the wife at all. The presence of the wife suddenly begins to repulse him. And sometimes he begins to feel some awful smell from the wife. It is the work of the spiritual husband doing that to the woman. They call it succubus and incubus, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yes, I remember. It was a month, I think in Mountain of Fire, I heard about succubus and the incubus. I think they said the succubus, the succubus is the female, that's the spiritual wife, while the incubus is the spiritual husband. So yes, the Catholic Church even acknowledge the presence and existence of the spiritual husbands and spiritual wife. Yes, it's scary, but if you know that yes, they exist and you do the right thing, you're going to live peacefully. They have deprived a lot of young ladies marriage. There are some young women, they are of age, they have good characters, they are beautiful, they can cook, they can do practically everything. These women can do everything. Like if you see them, these ones are wife materials, 1 million yards. But any man that comes into their life leaves them immediately, especially when they have intimacy. Yes. Fat Ninja, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Guys, as you comment, please give me a thumbs up. And if you can share out the stream, please do so. Okay? Yeah. So these women, until they acknowledge, they will be repulsive to their husband, no matter the deliverance they go through. Sometimes the spiritual husband can give way and let them have peace for some time, then later come back, and maybe by the time they are coming back to torment them the more. Until they are appeased, they don't let the woman rest. Same goes for the man. You see a very good guy, he's of marriageable age. Welcome, Herald of Mary. I appreciate you, Queen. Please give me a thumbs up. Welcome. Thank you, guys. Okay, now you see this men, handsome guys, they are doing well financially, they are doing well in their business, intelligent, well-schooled, learned guys, but they can't hold down a relationship. You'll be wondering, why can't this guy get married? What is stopping him from getting married? But the moment, even when the guy now decides to get married, it's as if things begin to turn upside down for him. All those things you see that are attractive about him, begin to turn upside down. Businesses begin to crumble. You see him having challenges left, right, and center. Until that marriage is crashing. Until that marriage crashes, the man will not be himself. He will not find himself. Colin says, we know that marriage is more spiritual than physical. Yes, absolutely. Yes, marriage is more physical, more spiritual than physical. For those who know, because some people think marriage ends, in the physical, but there is more connection in the spiritual realm. And until we acknowledge this connection we have with the spiritual realm, we may be, having issues. Addressing it is the first step towards freedom. Freedom from spiritual husband, spiritual wife, from attacks, because they will attack left, right, and center until they break that marriage. Yes, until they break that marriage. They will so frustrate the person until the partner decides to end it. Some you'll be wondering, why this is the first marriage, second marriage, third marriage, fourth marriage, why are marriages crashing? You keep asking. And when they go for counseling, and they ask what broke the marriage, they can't really hold down any tangible reason. They can't really point out to one reason why the marriage is crashing or why they have issues. All they know is that they become repulsive to one another. They become repulsive. And another thing that happens is the fact that when it comes to intimacy, The man will not want to make love to his wife. He will prefer outsiders. The woman who used to enjoy intimacy with her husband will not want to have intimacy with her husband. They have it once in a while after a strong fight. In fact, they will have to drag it. They will have to fight over it. There is someone that said that he can count the number of times he made love with his wife. Colin says, it is said that when we marry, we also share the karmic debt of that person. Whoa, please explain further. I don't understand this karmic debt, okay? Please explain further. Thank you, James. Gippy, welcome. I really appreciate you. Thanks for the thumbs up. Welcome. Yeah, can you explain further, because I don't understand that term there, that karmic debt of that person. So now they don't enjoy intimacy. This man said he can count how many times he has met with a wife since they got married. They have 2 kids. Yes, and he said that he can count not maybe up to 10 times. Like in a year, they can have it once, or sometimes not at all. That is how bad. He doesn't enjoy, but they don't want to part ways. They've been together, and the woman is just okay with it. Yes, she's just okay with it. Whatever the person must have done in his or her past life, okay, now I get it. Whatever they must have done in their past life, it is shared with a spiritual husband or with a spiritual wife. Okay, now I get you. So he said this is what he's been dealing with, until he had to now go and do the right thing. What did he do? He went the spiritual way. Of course, since it's a spiritual battle, he has to go the spiritual way. You cannot go for a divorce. You cannot fight your spiritual husband or your spiritual wife to leave you alone. You have to go spiritual in order to fight the battle, or in order to appease them, to either let you be or decide to stay alone without getting married. So he had to go, ask some questions, went to a spiritualist who told him what has been happening to him. And after going to the stream, to the river, with some sacrifices and begging the spiritual wife, now he had that understanding after they explained, because he had to explain everything happening to him. Having intimacy in the dream was more fun for him. It was more enjoyable. So when he wakes up, he's in sweat, and then looking at the wife, she becomes repulsive. He doesn't have the urge for the wife at all. There's no urge to touch the wife, no urge to make love to her. They practically just do it once in a while with struggle. So after explaining all this, the native doctor told him everything. The traditionalist or the spiritualist told him everything. And by the time they finished doing what is needed, he was free. Now, from time to time, what he did, he said what he was asked to do is that from time to time, he should go back and still acknowledge her presence so she doesn't get jealous. Yes, from time to time, he had to go back to any river around him, any stream or ocean around him, and make some sacrifice, buy her things, throw those things into the water for her. And when he throws it into the water for her, he comes back. He can now start making love to the wife. Like the wife is now appealing to her. And the wife has this understanding also. The wife now knows that this is what the husband is dealing with. So the wife, with her own understanding, supports the husband, and they are now living peacefully. After 10 years, the marriage was almost ruined. The worst for him is that there is nothing like intimacy between them. There's another man who equally shared his own. Cornelius says, in Igbo culture and religion, we need to do alpha consultation to know what to do. Absolutely. Yes, for those who are in Omenana, in Igbo, it's called Omenana. They go and do what is called Igbo alpha, like is a consultation to know what the problem is. And when they've done that consultation, they are told what the problem is and what to do. Not just telling them what the problem is, but they give them practical solution on what to do, on how to appease the spiritual husband or the spiritual wife. Herald of Mary, thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you, Queen. Yeah, and I'm asking, have you heard? So nobody has heard or know anything about spiritual husband, or you all are just being shy. You've not had any intimacy in the dream. You've not had any attack. You've not been experiencing any strange being around your life. You've not been experiencing strange movements around your life. These things are real. We can't deny them. No matter how much we try to deny this, spiritual beings. They really do exist. But I have never had any physical encounter. Yes, I haven't. And then growing up back then, I can't really remember so many things that happened while I was growing up in the case when it comes to this. But as an adult, I could remember a few and did the needful. Yes, did the needful, because it's very important for one to be free. Because if you don't do the needful, you can't be free from them. So now some men equally said that just okay, like I was narrating before, business. There's a guy who equally said that he was doing so well abroad. He was doing so well abroad. All of a sudden, there's a girlfriend he met, and he was planning to get married to this woman, to this lady abroad. And then when they went for the introduction, the family went for the ikwaka. That was when he started having serious problems. It was so bad to the point that this guy, everything he was doing, he lost his job. Business was so bad that he had to be deported. Yes, he got himself into trouble. He can't even understand how it happened until he was deported back to the country. And when he came back, they started making inquiries, did the consultation, and that was when he realized what was happening to him. A lot of guys have shared this. So it's not just for the women alone. It equally happens to the men. Colin says, one of the things to do is helping clear karmic debts through process of through the process of whoa, you are so depth into this, I don't know. Really? So they have to settle whatever debt the spiritual wife or the spiritual husband is owing, or what? I don't get. Which of the debt is settled? One of the things to do is helping clear the karmic debts through the process of Ikwalo and Ipapo Ajochu. Whoa, I don't know, how is this Ipapo Ajochu and Ikwalo? How is it done, Collins? How is it done? Please share with us. We want to know. Like I said, on this live stream, we learn. We don't know it all. I'm only sharing what I know, and I believe in their existence. Okay, I'm not doubting their existence. The person's former life. Oh, okay. The person's former life. Okay. Wow, that is nice. But some sacrifices are made in the process, right? Do they make some sacrifices in the process to do this Ikwalo? What are obtainable? If you know, I want to learn. I'm really interested in this. What are, should the person bring or do in order to do this Ikwalo or Ipapajuchu? From what I can read here. I'm even happy I can even read it out. So now these things are in existence, and most times women keep going for deliverance over and over, year after year, year after year. I see people celebrating Halloween, isn't it? People believe in a Halloween. They celebrate Halloween because it's a foreign culture, isn't it? Yes, imagine if it's in your village, Halloween is being celebrated. Hey, by now all the pastors would have gathered for deliverance, binding and casting. But if you check all the people participating in Halloween, many of them are Christians, tongue-speaking and spirit-filled Christians. They believe in Halloween, but when it comes to believing in their own spirituality, they doubt it, they condemn it. And that is why we're having the problem we're having today. We don't want to accept who we are, but we want to accept who others are. Accepting foreign culture and religion. Even the white man you're celebrating his Halloween, believes in spiritual husband and spiritual wife. That is why they have a term, a word for it, incubus and succubus. Yes, I don't even know this name before until I checked. Incubus and succubus. But of course, they will tell you that they're demonic. Yeah, that this spiritual wife and spiritual husbands are demonic and all that. But the truth is, if only we do the right thing, make inquiries, ask the necessary questions, we will not know why they are causing all those, why they are creating attack, why they are attacking, why they are causing disruptions in our lives. Because that is why whatever we do in life has consequences, either in this life or in the other life. Yes, I believe in that. I believe in that. That whatever we do, if we don't pay for it today, we'll pay for it tomorrow in the next life. That is why we have to be very, very careful of the things we do. Yes, be careful with the things we do so that we don't end up paying for it after this life. It is real. I believe in African tradition. I believe in my culture. I believe in my custom. I believe in, because this is what shaped me. This is who I am. This is what makes me. This is where I come from. I cannot keep swallowing the foreign one and then pushing away mine and thereby having problems without solution. Problems. If this Halloween, for instance, is being celebrated in my place now, and I am called to come and participate, I'll look at it. Look at the costumes. They are quite scary and spooky, right? The costumes are really scary. The pumpkin carvings, the blood splatter, the coffin, the casket, the skeleton, the skulls and bones and all those things, the grave tomb, the graveyard, the tomb head, all those things are quite scary. Imagine if it's something that is done in an Igbo, for instance, a lot of people, a lot will bind and cast and rebuke it, isn't it? But despite 147 people being killed yesterday, people are still they are still celebrating Halloween. To them, it's an amazing festival. They've come to embrace it. That even we back home in Africa, somebody in Nigeria right now is celebrating Halloween. Somebody in Ghana is celebrating Halloween. Somebody in Kenya is celebrating Halloween. Somebody in where? They are all celebrating Halloween. But when it comes to your own existence, something that makes and forms you and shapes you to be who you are, you rebuke and you don't find solution. Yeah, and probably the person will not remember anything again when we come back to this world. Oh, yes, yes, of course, of course. I mean, after living in this life, you come back in the next life, you will not remember. And I heard that is why some people suffer. They don't know why they're suffering. Some people enjoy life. They don't know why. Some people come into this world, it's so rosy and beautiful for them. Others come in, it is from one challenge or the other to the end of their lifetime. Others come in, they don't know the reason why they are so drawn to a particular thing, to a particular person, you know. And others come, they don't know why they dislike a particular person or a particular people. Yes, it could be as a result of what has happened in their past life. I believe it. Some have deep connection with some objects. They don't know why they have that deep connection. Some people even see certain things and they say, I have seen this before, but they can't place it. They don't know. No, I have been here before. Whereas the person have not traveled to that place. But on reaching, they say, no, I can feel that I have been here before. I can feel I have been here. I can feel I know you. I feel like there is something about this place. I have this connection with that place. It is reincarnation. For those who don't believe in it, reincarnation, yes, it does happen. It does happen. So back to incubus and succubus, Mande Catholic, according to the Catholic Church, because that is what they call spiritual husbands and spiritual wife. And in my Igbo language, it's called di mmụọ na nwunye mmụọ. Yes, when you go for this Ewafa, which is the consultation, they will tell the person, which means that spiritual husband is disturbing you. It's not letting you get married. It's not letting you progress. And it will keep disrupting everything you lay hands on, especially when you are of age to get married. When you become a woman, you're falling in love. That is when they come. Throughout, maybe while growing up, the pastors may be seeing it, that as a being. They feel it, they see it. I am not saying they don't see it. They do feel it. These pastors do feel it. If they don't feel it, they will not be, except for those who are faking it. Yes, they do feel it. And they carry out 7 days deliverance, 7 days fasting and dry fasting and prayers. You keep doing this thing. You finish from there. You go back to another church. You go and carry out another deliverance, another session entirely. You finish from there. You go for another session entirely. You keep going from church to church. What is happening? What is wrong with the person? Keep happening. It keep going wrong. Things keep going wrong. Until the person opens up and say, This is what I'm experiencing. You could be seeing a particular person appearing to you in the dream. Yes. A being, a male figure. And most times they say they are very handsome. Hey, that they're very handsome, they're very cute. According to this woman who shared her story, she said this guy, her own spiritual husband, is so cute. She has never seen a man so cute. He's neither fair nor dark, but he's just too cute. Yes, and the guy is nice, a gentleman. And the first time the guy met her, he told her, I said, I need to talk to you. You need to know who I am. She was shocked. She didn't believe it. Even when the guy was in her living room, she picked up her phone and called her spiritualist. And my spiritual husband is here with me. Some people were saying in the chat that she has mental problem, that something might be wrong with her. You know, maybe she's losing her mind. But she's a successful businesswoman, a well-known person in Nigeria. Yes, she's well-known. A successful businesswoman doing so well in her job. She's an interior decor, doing so well, well-established, flourishing. She called that this guy says, so if she has a mental problem, somebody with mental problem or somebody who is delusional will not be able to run a successful business. Yes, the person won't be able to run a successful business. The person will be having issues. And then if she had not admitted or gone to look for solution, who knows, the spiritual husband may have maybe eventually ruined her life completely, because she suffered bleeding while preparing for her marriage for 13 months until the date of that marriage, both the traditional marriage and the church wedding passed by. Ashwebi, hall, everything has been paid for. People already bought Ashwebi, invitation card has been shared, venue has been paid for, everything was down already. While she was sick, she was thinking she was going to recover fast, you know, it's going to stop anytime soon. So the wedding plan was on until the spiritual husband ensured that she didn't leave the hospital until her wedding date passed. That was when it dawned on her. That was when they started asking questions. And then she went back home. And they told her what was wrong with her. Told her that this guy needs to leave you. This physical husband now needs to leave you for you to be alive. And then appease your spiritual husband. With him in the picture, you may not survive it. Canelo said, the womb of the universe is the house we all live in this realm. Live in this realm. Therefore, a lot of things are happening we are very ignorant of ignorant of our original way of life. This is deep. This is really deep. Yes, this is deep, because we cannot continue to live in denial. If she had continued fighting, first of all, she went to church. It got to a point, pastors were using her for caricature. They were using her for show. They'll just bring her out and be asking her certain questions, making a show out of her predicament. A woman suffering and going through a lot. She will go for deliverance. They will not be doing the deliverance. Instead, they'll be asking her, because every deliverance she goes to, you know, they could see, they could feel the presence of the spiritual husband. And the guy told her, this is not going to help. In fact, she said she was shouting, she was shouting Jesus, shouting, and the spiritual husband was equally shouting it with her. He said, let's call that God created every being, that we are not the only being in existence. That this earth is not the only planet in the world. The universe is large. The womb of the universe is very deep and wide. And there are other creatures in existence. And maybe we'll have connections with them. God created everything beautiful. And he told her, according to her, she said the spiritual husband told her, when they went with a lot of things to the water, to the river, they went there to the river, and they brought so many sacrifices to her, to him. And in the course of the prayer, they saw the man coming out from the water in a very big canoe. And her spiritually saw him and told her to run and never look back, because as your spiritual husband coming may drag into the water, and that may be the end. Yes. I know of someone, this is deep. This is deep. Shared by a very good friend. Her immediate elder brother. her immediate elder brother had an encounter with a marine wolf. They called him and they told him what he needs to do. But he was very young, according to her. He was very young. He was 18 then, a teenager. She said she was 16 at that time. And they told her that she has a work to do, some spiritual work to do. And being a young boy from a Christian home, from a Catholic background, he didn't understand what that person told her, because the person appeared to him. He was called, and he went to that place where he was called, and somebody met him there and told him this thing, that he has an assignment, he has a job on earth. And then he went to, according to the lady, she said the guy went to their mother and explained everything. The mother, being a born-again Christian, now to, oh, maybe it's the Spirit of God, maybe you're asked to carry the Bible and evangelize and preach the good news. Go and preach the gospel, which he started doing. He started preaching to his friends. That was this, according to her. The brother doesn't eat fish. Yes, he doesn't eat fish at all. His fish is repulsive to him. Like whenever he smells fish, he begins to throw up. So right from childhood, he doesn't eat fish. He doesn't eat crayfish. He doesn't eat freshly. He doesn't eat okra. And they don't know. He is the only one in the family who doesn't eat all these things. And the moment, she said when they were young, if he's being forced to eat it because everybody's eating that, he will begin to throw up. He will vomit. He will and start bleeding through the nose. Until they now understood that, okay, they can't help this. This is something serious. So they stopped forcing him to eat that. He would rather starve than eat any meal cooked with fish. And it went on that way. So when they told him, when that particular being told him this, that he has an assignment, some spiritual things to do, he has a spiritual calling, he didn't do that. He carried the Bible. According to what she said, the mother gave him the Bible and asked him to continue preaching. So one day he went out with his friends to go and swim, and that was how he vanished into the river. Yes. That was how she lost her brother. He was taken. The friends left. They never came back. They never went to her parents to tell them what happened to their friend, who is her brother. They never told anyone. They all went to their houses. None of them could speak about it. He was 18. Yes. And few hours later, some boys who were playing around there witnessed what happened, saw the boys' school bag, saw the friends running, and knew that something happened. They were able to trace her brother to the parents' home. When they came, she said they broke the news that they saw this boy drowning, like just entered the water and never came up again. And all his friends ran away. That his bag and school books and sandal are still there. He can take them to the river. That was how her mother and father and their cousin, everybody ran. They followed these young boys to that river and found his school bags, his school shoes, and school sandal there by the bank of the river. But the boy was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found. They dive, they call divers, enter the river. Her father knows how to swim. Her elder brother knows how to swim. People dived in and they combed, even the native of that land, they dived in and combed the water, the river, and he was nowhere to be found. Few hours later, it started raining and it poured down heavily, that the water was flooded. Everyone was flooded. And they lost hope of ever finding the boy. They came back with school stuff. They lost hope of ever finding this boy. Few hours after it stopped raining, one of their cousins, hello, Yo-Yo Wanyoma, Yo-Yo Ndoki, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you, Queen. Thank you. Few hours after it stopped raining, one of their cousins told the father that he has a feeling that something is speaking to him. He's asking them to go back to that river where they found the school, his school stuff. Then the father, according to her, she said the father didn't believe it. Like, how can? It has rained and everywhere it was flooded. So if we didn't find the body prior to the rain, how can we find the body after the rain? But the guy insisted. Thank you so much, Tanya. I appreciate you for staying put with me here. Welcome, Ugo Cynthia. I appreciate you. Kindly give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you, Ugo Cynthia. Pretty happy. Welcome. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you guys for joining in. Please kindly smash the like for me, okay? Give me a thumbs up, please, guys. So, we're discussing about spiritual husband and spiritual wife today because this channel is all about love, relationship, and marriage. And we're talking about anything related because a lot of marriages are crashing due to this spiritual wife and spiritual husband thing. So after the cousin insisted that voice is telling him that they should go back to that river, that place they found his stuff, that they're going to find him. They didn't believe him, but you know, the father was in distress. The mother was wailing. Then she said they did everything and they reluctantly entered the car and drove down to that place, came down and went there. Lo and behold, they found the boy lying by the bank of the river. He was not, his tummy was not swollen. He was just lying there as if he was asleep. By the same place they found his school stuff, the same place they combed, the same place divers entered and swam for hours. That same place they found him, not inside the river, but by the bank of the river, lying down there peacefully, but gone. He was already dead. As I'm telling you this, and I have goosebumps, but this is real life stories because I need to say this so that people will understand that this word is deeper. It is not just physical. There is more in the spiritual realm. And they took his body and took him home to go bury. There was no struggle. He didn't drown. Like he was not. They didn't find the body like someone. According to her, she said he was lying down there as if he was sleeping, with his body just lying down there cold, his naked body, because he was just on his panties. And that was the end of this boy. She said till today, she confronted the friends, that is her late brother's friend, on what happened. And they told her that they couldn't come out, that they just didn't know why they couldn't come to the house, that something stopped them. They couldn't, all of them, she said they were 5. All went back to their houses. They never told their parents. They never came to even though they are friends, they never bothered to come tell the parents of this boy. Something stopped all of them from coming to tell. Real life story. I had this, I can recount this because I had this one-on-one years ago. And since then, I respect the spiritual realm. Yes. I've come to respect the spiritual realm and understand that this world is deeper than we think. Colin says, I learned that the lady in question was just being used by the supposed physical husband for personal aggrandizement. Hey, this man and English, and not for her benefit. For her, let me summarize it, for her personal gain, for their personal gain. They are just being there for selfish reason. They were there for selfish reason. They were there for her money. So because she's very successful, she's a successful interior decor, well known back home. So the spiritual husband told her that these men that are coming don't love her. They are only there to benefit, to just for selfish reasons. Once they are done with what they want, they're going to treat her so bad. Yeah. Oyoyo, thank you so much for coming. Kazim Ayodele, I really appreciate you. We are living in a world, okay, we are living in a world we practically knew nothing about. Only what foreign religion couldn't tell us. Religions couldn't tell us. I believe that this world is deeper. Kazim, thank you so much. Now, have you had any encounter with the spiritual world, with spiritual wife? Do you know anything about spiritual world, about spiritual wife and spiritual husbands? Well, I'm throwing this thing out. Everyone in the chat looks like they're panicking. Like, looks like everyone is just, oh my God. No. This stream is not for me. I need to jump and pass. I don't know anything. I bind and cast. I rebuke I can imagine the prayer going on in the minds of people watching me right now. I'm a Christian. Everything spiritual husband, spiritual wife. I bind and cast. I rebuke. I can imagine what is going on in your mind. And also had American passport. Yes, thank you. I can imagine people binding. Every spiritual, no. Spice it up. Don't come up with this. I don't have spiritual husband. I don't have spiritual wife. I'm a born again Christian. I'm spiritual. The spirit that dwells in me, the spirit of God and all that. Yes, so even me is the spirit of God that dwells in me. It is the spirit of God that dwells in me. But you are not afraid of Halloween. You are not afraid to celebrate the feast of the dead. You're not afraid to wear garments soaked with fake blood. You're not afraid to wear tattered clothes that looks like something that came from the grave. You're not afraid to wear ghost hats, disappearing hat, Harry Potter hat. You're not afraid to hold the flying broom, but you're afraid of spiritual husband and spiritual warfare because the foreign religion brought Halloween. So you guys are not afraid of it, but you're afraid of spiritual husband. Nah, if you know what is good for you, better start asking questions, especially if you know you've been having challenges. Challenges you don't know where they're coming from. If you know you've been having endless challenges, it is time you start making inquiries. If you want to go to church, to go meet your pastor and ask your pastor these things I'm saying, your pastors will tell you the truth. They will tell you, yes, that they really do exist. And people do have spiritual husbands and spiritual wives. And they can be very, very jealous and angry when you don't appease them, when you don't do the right thing. If you are going to always bind them, or you are cursing and rebuking and rejecting them, there is fire on the mountain. But we forgot that it's God that created everything under the water too. Of course, he created everything, the heavens and the earth. I remember I said he created both the things beneath the water, the things above the earth. Under the earth, there are spiritual beings. We are not the only existing beings, and we have, one way or the other, have connections because God created us all. Oh, you're Doki. Are you hiding inside your cupboard right now? Are you hiding inside your cupboard right now? This topic, let me know. Nobody is saying, the funny thing, nobody is admitting that they exist or they don't exist. Everybody is staying neutral. You all are staying neutral. Everybody is neutral on today's live stream. They are not either rebuking or rejecting it or accepting it. Everybody is neutral. So this is how you guys can be so afraid. Oyoyo said, also, God gave us power over everything. Yes, he did. He gave us power. He gave us dominion over the living things, over the fishes of the air, of the ocean, over the birds of the earth, over the animals in the field. He gave us dominion. He gave us dominion over this thing. But the things in the spiritual realm, I don't know about what's been having dominion over them. Let me drop my link. I don't know about us having dominion over them, but sincerely, things are happening. Yeah, things are really happening. Colin says they exist even when we visit water for appeasement, while our spouse is in the church clapping for Jesus. They do, they really do. Rebecca Queen, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, my link is there. Please, if you want to jump on the link, please do jump on the link. Let's talk about that spooky topic here. Spiritual husbands and spiritual wife. Kindly give me a thumbs up and drop your opinion in the chat. Or if you want to come up on the stream, please do so. Welcome, Queen. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, beautiful host, for having me. Thank you, everyone in the chat. God bless you guys. Really good for your support and encouragement.
Thank you so much.
This topic is kind of gray, and a lot of people are not aware about this topic. So maybe that's why most people are just, trying to be neutral.
Neutral, yes.
Yeah, but you were saying something, and that really got me up to coming here. we know there are existence of things, you understand. Even today science is beginning to speak there are aliens, you understand, as well. But the thing is that
Beings.
what you don't know will not kill you. Okay, that's
Yes.
what I believe. What you don't know will not kill you. And
But they are not
also,
out there to kill,
they might not
even
be
if you
out
know
there
them or you
to
don't know
kill.
them.
Yeah, they might not be out there to kill, but at the same time, people are being hurt in the process. If actually everything or every evidence pointing out to whatever they are doing are right, you understand? For example, that at the freeze video, there was another Nigerian lady that was talking about how she had multiple miscarriages because of spiritual husband. And a lot of people, this lady that you're talking about, she talked about how she was not able to get married because of spiritual house. So people are hurt in the process. Not just that lady, even the men that that they encountered. She talked about how somebody's business that was doing, the person that was doing very well in Ghana when she was in school in Ghana, how she became bankrupt and all of that. You understand? People are hurt in the process. And the Bible said that God has given us dominion over principalities and over power. So if
Now,
principalities
who
and
are those
power,
principalities?
it could be people beneath the sea, anything beneath the earth. You understand? It could be forces. You understand? Even things we encounter in our physical day-to-day life or day-to-day living. So if God gave us that power and dominion, I will walk with that. I might not be as righteous as Christ, but if I can attain that righteousness through faith, I will solely hold that and walk with that. I really don't want to get, double into what goes on under the sea or what goes on beneath the earth. Is not my responsibility. God said, whatever I entrust in Him, that He will handle. So if I say I'm a Christian and I believe in what God has said concerning me, that I have given you power, that He made me in the likeness of His own image, and I am what? A resemblance of God. If I believe in the authority of God, I will hold on to it and walk with it. Even if I bind and cast and the thing is still there, I will hold on to that thing what God has spoken concerning me. That is what I know. Then for those that believe in the other way, because I believe it's not just Christianity that is the only
Yeah.
religion on earth, is not.
Welcome, Black Beauty. Thank you so much. Please give
So
me a thumbs up. Yeah, it's not only Christianity.
So for those that believe the other way, they can as well do what they want to do and what they feel is right for them to do. But as far
Yeah.
as I'm concerned, and then me and my household, we will praise the Lord. We will profess the word of God as God has spoken it. He has given me power. I will trample upon Satan, upon scorpions and serpents, and they will not harm me. It might be scorpion and scorpion. If you go spiritually into the meaning of what that
It
particular
is not,
scripture is
yeah, it
talking,
is not the
it's not
physical
the
scorpion
physical.
and snake.
Yeah, it's not the physical scorpion. So God knows that these things are there. That's why He gave us those power.
He created them, not that He knows. He created everything.
Yeah,
Everything here on earth. He created them
absolutely,
all.
absolutely. According to Genesis, He made all things on earth, above the earth, everything God
And
created.
beneath the
And
water.
yeah, and at the same time, He chose to give us dominion over them all. That word alone, dominion over them all. And because I have dominion over them all, they might come in thousandfold. That God that I pray, that I believe, that I serve, that I hold dearly, will go in defense for me.
But
That's the way
do
I look
you
at
know
it.
that? Okay, yes, you believe that. I do believe that. But you know that, okay, even if you go to church right now, for instance, I know you must have heard about deliverances or deliverance going on for spiritual binding of a spiritual husband, binding of spiritual wife. Every time you go for deliverance, this even pastors, your reverends, they all believe in the existence of this spiritual husband, and they feel the best way to tackle is to bind them. Now, how do you bind something you don't know, isn't it? If they believe in it, that means there must be a way, there must be something that one can do in order to keep them at bay, and then you exist on your own and live your life peacefully. Because if they are not fighting you, if they're there existing and they can feel their presence, anytime they, you go, let's say deliverance is going on here, you see people falling, and then you see the pastor saying that there is a spiritual husband. In fact, sometimes you hear the people speak, and it's like a foreign being is speaking through them. I don't know if you've seen that. I have seen that. It's like a foreign being, like a strange being. Another voice is speaking through that person, not movie. I have been to a lot of deliverance. So binding them, okay, if you are told now that you have a spiritual husband, I don't know if you understand. If you are told that, what would you do?
When they mean you bind, you don't bind the only thing you see. Because remember, when you are walking the warfare of in God's name, you're not doing that warfare based on what you're seeing. If not, you go on a physical blow and fight physically. But you're binding based on the authority God has given you. One thing I know that will not die, like people praying die by fire. There is nothing like die by fire. You understand?
Spirit
Don't
doesn't
catch
die.
fire. You understand? They don't die.
They don't
So
even
you
die.
have, their spirit don't die. So you have to bind them. Just like when Jesus was performing his multitude of miracles, that he did the same kind of thing when he was trying to free the man possessed of evil spirit. You understand? So he wasn't going to fight physically with that evil spirit, but he has to bind that evil spirit to go back to where it belongs. You understand? So you're not binding because you can see it. No, but because you're trying to take the same power God talked about.
You remember the story of the swines, that those the evil spirits, I think, if I recollect rightly, they now told him to cast them into those swines, and then he casted them into this. He commanded them to enter the swine, and then those swines, went away.
Yes, that was a good example. And because they didn't want to be bound, you understand, they now pleaded with God, with Christ, to rather send them to the swan, and they possess the swan. So you can understand what it means.
So that's to tell you that they can possess a being. They can actually live with us physically. As in, while we're living physically, they can live with us, be in our lives without us even knowing that they exist and they're living with us.
That one I can't dispute. Like I said, I can't speak more on what I don't have authority to speak on, in the sense that I don't know that aspect of the spirituality, whether the things under the water are moving, whether the ones under the ground are moving. But do I have an understanding?
You don't want to know.
No, do I have an understanding that they exist? Yes, because I've gone to churches. You understand? I've seen people come for deliverance. One of the stories I shared, I believe, in one of my live stream, Yo-Yo's Word, about a girl that was busy. She and her mother, they were sharing boyfriends. You understand? The mother was doing that. So when she got married, things became tight. She came to Mountain of Fire. They were passing ministration. You know, the way somebody would just be preaching, trying to then I said, there is somebody here and this is what is causing your problem. The girl, lo and behold, she stood up. She stood up and walked to the altar. You understand? So I know, in one word or the other, people got entangled into so many things. A lot of people will tell you, when you get intimate with another person, as those that, jump from one man to the other, you're getting into sexual bond with these people. You don't know the spirit they possess. You don't know who they are. And that
or the spirit that is possessing their body.
Or possessing them. Yeah. So that will end up.
Welcome, Black Beauty. Problems. Thank you so much. Please give me a thumbs up. Welcome, Nemi Inspired. Give me a thumbs up. Welcome. Thank you. I really appreciate you all here. The spirit that even possess their body, they don't know.
Yeah. So that will end up doing what? Bringing more problems to them than they already know. So the thing is, if anybody going through it, if you believe in Christ, yeah, I believe God can set anything free. He is the author and finisher of our faith. He is the maker of heaven and earth. We can't dispute that. At some point, the lady was saying, somebody say, call on Jesus. They say Jesus' name doesn't work. If you believe in that name of Jesus, that name will work for you. That is just what faith is all about.
According to her, when she was calling on Jesus, the spirit husband told her, he said, the spirit husband equally called on Jesus. He said, which of the Jesus are you calling? Is it the Yeshua you are calling? Because we have a lot of Jesus out there. Jesus is a name. It's not just one name. It's not just only the Jesus we know that bears the Jesus. Jesus was a common name back in this era. And it's still even a common name in some countries today. Some footballers I know here in Brazil, they still bear Jesus, and so many other countries. So when they're calling on Jesus, like, which of the Jesus are you even calling? And the spirit husband was equally saying, look, God created us, created you, created everything. You are walking on earth, we are in the water. So what are you binding here? Just listen and do the right thing, so we can live happily.
If I may even come to that, this is your last statement. You're walking on water and you're walking on the land. We are in water. That person was talking as a physical human being on earth. So as a matter of speech, figuratively, the person is at the point on earth. So you have to do what? Exercise the authority you have. But let me say it here, maybe for all of us to have understanding a little bit. If you soil your hand so badly, if you like, call Jesus' name, you have to go through mercy and through forgiveness, you understand, so that you have power when you call on Jesus. Not when you're doing things and you think you call on Jesus, he will start falling. No, you have to obtain mercy. You have to go through asking for that forgiveness, whatever it is. That lady at the point of calling Jesus, I don't know what her life was at that point of calling Jesus. Does the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth save? I am a testifier. That name saves. That name can do wonders if only you believe in it. You understand?
Yeah, but the thing there is that according to her spiritual husband, he's not there to hurt her. So he's there to have a dialogue with her. So she calling, is she trying to send him out, bind him, make him disappear, make him vanish, or make him stop existing? So he wants to make her understand that he is existing, and there is something she just needs to understand. The reason why all those things are happening to her, she needed to understand it. So while she was calling on Jesus, he was like, why are you calling on Jesus? What is the essence of calling on Jesus? Are you calling on Jesus? This same Jesus we know the Jesus. So who are you? What are you calling?
See, host. Let me say something. You know, that lady, she really said a lot of things. How she has gone to
many and churches. She said she's very spiritual. Yes.
Yeah, she says she's a prophetess. She has gone to many churches. She has done all kinds of deliverance. But let me say something here, because we easily count the number of times we've done things right, but we don't ever speak the number of times we've done anything wrong. Okay, so that is human nature for you who believe that we do it right all the time. We know what we are doing. We figured it out. But nobody will ever tell you, yeah, this thing, I've done it wrong. Honestly, I don't think I got it right. Why am I saying this, right? This lady claims to have gone to a lot of churches, a lot of deliverances. But deliverance, you don't just come there with you can't obtain anything without faith. That is what the scripture said. If only we can come, even if it's a minor faith, even as tiny as a mustard seed, God will answer. You might be going on to the deliverance. You say, oh, these people, I'm just like the one I went yesterday. You're just there to fulfill obligation of those that
no, she will not go because she's going through a lot. This is a woman who has suffered bleeding for 13 months. A woman whose marriage was cancelled. She was in the hospital when her marriage date passed. This is the woman dealing with so much. I don't think she will just go casually. You get my point? I don't think she will just go, not be the same deliverance. She is seeking for help. You know, these Sabbatarians, white garment churches, they understand how to go about this spirit husband and spirit wife, and even the traditionalists. What they usually do is they understand that these people exist, okay, that these beings exist, and the only way is not to fight them or to bind or cast them, is to appease them to live peacefully, so you can exist and they will exist, and allow you enjoy your physical life.
Yeah,
so
most
times when we go to church, they will ask us to fast. I have fasted how many times? Fasting, and yet every time I go to another pastor, it's still another prayer and fasting.
Every church, every religion, every church, every religion, they have their doctrine. You understand? They have their doctrine, they have their way of doing things. If you go to another church, they will still do whatever their processes is, and it might end up to still be in prayer and deliverance. You understand? The white garment church people, they have their different approach towards this. The evangelicals have their different approach towards this. You understand? And they work according to their doctrine. Most of them are not similar. Some are very close. You understand? But like I said,
at the end
if
of the
a
day, still one
traditionalist,
for that being, that spiritual being. At the end of the day, still that spiritual being, the spiritual husband or the spiritual wife, they're trying to get out.
yeah,
Out of
they
the
are
way. For
fighting
the
the
woman,
same thing,
for the
but they
man to be
have
free.
different methods of doing it. Okay, different methods or different approaches of doing it, different way, different doctrine. Just like the way there some people will tell you cover your hair and come to church. Some will say it's not mandatory. So they have different doctrines, but they're still fighting the same thing. People are still doing what to win souls. That's just the aim of the whole thing, Christianity. But what I'm trying to say here, if anyone going through that, if you believe that is a traditional way you can get saved, go with it, approach it, but do not disparage what other people are doing. Okay, that lady was saying, that was laughing at those calling on the name of Jesus. If that's what is working for them and saving them all these years, there is no amount of laugh or whatever you say, even Daddy Freeze that was talking, that will make these people believe otherwise, because that same name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth that they've been calling has done wonders for them. So there is nothing anybody can say to change that.
It is what works
Theology,
for what works
yes,
for one.
yes, that's just it. So if the lady believe in traditional way of getting her will I say survival
She
or
she she
saving her
said
life?
no. She said she was still going to churches. It got to a point where even pastors were just using her for shows. She's not saying she doesn't believe in the name of Jesus, but trying to bind the spiritual husband with the name of Jesus is what she's saying. It's trying to bind that spiritual husband with the name of Jesus.
Exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't work, or rather it didn't work for her, does not mean it will not work for another person. There are
There
people
are
that they
so
use
many
that
people
name.
who have been going for this. If I tell you the number of people who calls, Christians who have gone for this deliverance all their life and they are tired and they now resorted to this appeasing through this traditional way, you'll be shocked. You'll be amazed.
I know.
You'll be amazed.
I
They will
know.
tell you they have gone the same way I have gone to different churches trying to bind and cast it. Finally,
yeah. See,
what
host,
works
I
was
believe
appeasing.
you. See, host, I believe you, and I know exactly what you're talking about. But one thing I will say is not everybody that gets into the presence of God at the same time that will receive the same kind of healing or the same kind of touch. God will touch every other person individually. You understand? I might be coming to church, a broken person coming to church, thinking that I've done everything the Bible says I should do. I've lived right. I'm in good terms with my neighbors. I pay alms. I do this. I do that. You understand? But if I'm holding any grudges of anything, grudges of any kind against another person, that alone can limit me from getting what I'm asking for. But you might see somebody who is a carefree person. Hey, how are you today? And that person has free spirit in the sense he has nothing against anybody. He just pray and believe God to the least of his ability. That person might walk into that same presence of God and get something. You understand? And me that is feeling that I'm holier than all of them might not get the same deliverance. So it all depends. This thing of the spiritual thing is not something we'll see with our physical eyes. It's something we can discern in the spirit if we get to that spiritual level. So, like I said before, if the lady feels that I've done all I could do with apostolic churches, prophetic churches, what is it called? Evangelical churches that I didn't get, even Pentecostal, even Catholic, even Orthodox, everything.
Even white garments, spiritualists.
If she feels she did not get deliverance, she should do what? Go to where she thinks she can get deliverance. But for those that believed in Christ and believe that deliverance is going to come from Christ, a lot of people being saved, a lot of people being delivered from that same kind of problem. So they say different folks for different people. And that's how I see it here.
Yeah. Rebecca says sometimes we open doors ourselves from those nonsense spirits. Either through especially through sexual intercourse. Especially through, so you don't know the kind of spirit. That's why I keep saying it. where single people don't know, even some married people still cheat now, and they just sleep with people anyhow. They don't know the implication. Sometimes you don't know the implication of who you are laying with. You don't know the kind of spirit the person is even carrying, and then you just carry that person will transfer that foul spirit, and then the spirit begins to even torment the person's life without even knowing where the problem is coming from. The person will be running like headless chicken from pillar to post looking for solution. Whereas he doesn't know that
Absolutely.
this spirit was gotten from one woman or from one man, So she's right on that. Some people open doors to some of these those ones foul spirits. Believe me, they do. Like I said, I don't know it all, and that is why I'm streaming and I'm asking anybody who know. I'm only sharing what I know, what I believe in. And anybody who has contrary or who have diverse opinion or has any other in-depth knowledge about this thing can come out and share, because truth is, we believe in the existence. There's no doubt about it. Because if we don't believe it exists, pastors will not be binding and casting. Native doctors will not be trying to do some sacrifices and appease them. Spiritualists will not be trying to flog them out of people's life. There are some that they will flog, they need to flog those things out. So different religion or belief, even the white who are celebrating Halloween today, called the Catholic Church called it incubus and succubus. I remember back then I was very young when I heard that name, succubus and incubus.
Succubus or whatever. I can't even remember. I still am going to
succubus.
research about that.
Yes, but they call it that is a demonic being that possesses one and causes havoc in one's life and all that. So they all believe collectively that
there is this lady.
But how to get them out of the way is the problem.
Yeah, there is this lady I know. She's no longer married today because of this situation. You understand? She all her life she has been in church, because it's like she realized very early in her young life there was something not fitting in. She was that kind of person that jumped into anything you say when you say preaching. She started as a young girl of 12 or 10, going to deeper life and all of that. So as time progresses, as she gets older, from deeper life, she moved to another church and all and things like that. Eventually, she went. She got admission into the university. That I think that I don't know if she feel it was a spiritual husband kind of a thing, because even when she's studying in school, during exam period, something will just be moving all over her body, so she can't study. There is no way that girl can read. Okay, so how she even graduated from university, nobody could tell. And then it became a very big problem. People did not know if they go to hospital, nothing was wrong with her. And then things would be crawling inside her body, you understand? Then some people started looking at her, maybe she was mentally, she has a mental problem. But she didn't have any mental problem. Her faculties were sane. Then after university, she was still doing her church thing, believing God, praying and all of that. But sometimes you fall on the side way growing up as a young person, especially when you keep on going to church thinking, you're gonna get help and all that. Some people find themselves in that situation. So let's fast forward to the time she got married. She got married, you understand? Marriage did not work. And when it comes to intimacy with her husband, she does not enjoy it. She doesn't know what it is. She doesn't even know. When people talk about sex and all that, she say, "What is that? Is there anything to enjoy there?"
That is the same thing I was
there is
sharing here earlier on.
Nothing to enjoy there. Then the next thing, but when she's sleeping, that's when she has real sexual encounter, and she doesn't know what happens to her.
Guys, did you hear that?
So
did you hear that? I shared this before she came. Did you hear that?
Eventually, the marriage did not work. She walked away. So right now she doesn't even know what to do again. She was asking her mother. Her mother is very old. Her mother cannot even go looking for traditionalists or anybody to help her. She said since she was about 10, 12 that she has been in church, that right now she's not even going to church anymore because she gave up, trying. When she sit down to lament her story, you feel for her, you cry.
I wish I can get the lady's contact. I wish I can get it to help her. She needs to be free. She needs to be, honestly, I wish I
Yeah.
can. If you can, if there's a way you can help me with her contact. See, this thing is very, very easy if one knows how to. Because if you have been going to church, I am not saying nobody, if you have been going, there are people, all the people going for all this thing, they go to church. It's not as if when you take something to go appease that you stop believing in God. That is the misconception a lot of our people have. When we start stop practicing some of our African some of the things our ancestors practice, we now think that when we want to do, they say no, they are fetish, they are demonic. Oh no, I'm not a born again Christian, a spirit filled and all that. You can be born again Christian, spirit filled, and still do the needful. The Bible says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and give to God what belongs to God. You understand? Now, if you have been going to church, I experienced it. I am not denying it. Okay, I have done deliverance of, if I tell you how many churches I have been to for deliverance, I'm not saying maybe you might say maybe my faith is weak or no, it is not. I don't think this has to do with one's faith. Look, people, even if I go back to church now as I am now, I go to any believing church now where they do deliverance, the pastor will tell me, you have a spirit husband. They will say it, and I will not deny it. You get the point? I will not deny it. But the thing, there's this lady now, she has been in church. Nobody's going to say she has not dedicated her life doing the right thing. So, but all she needs to do is to appease, so that this man can give her space to live her life and be able to have her husband and raise her family.
See, host, the thing is
Boss B, thank you for coming. Welcome. Please give me a thumbs up, Boss B. Welcome. Go on, Queen.
The thing is that a lot of people that went through the church and got delivered, there are still many of them. You understand? Many of them, they got deliverance and they are living their lives. They believe in this was what saved them. But the thing is, whereby your faith cannot carry you, because if you talk about the things of God, I keep saying it, you have to have the faith to believe that you get what you're looking for. Just like when you go to see a native doctor, they will ask you, yeah, if you say yes, then you can get something that at the end of the day. But whereby you come with doubting Thomas faith, you're not going to get anything.
But sometimes you don't, how can somebody who has been in church, somebody who grew up in church, have a doubting faith? You don't get it.
No,
like you don't know otherwise.
That lady, for example, she will sometimes she will even go to church and tell you what these people are doing is wrong. You understand? So if you're coming to church with the all know attitude, you don't even believe what they are doing. So if even they pray for you, it's not gonna work. So she has gone to several churches. Some of them she did not believe in what they were doing. Some of them she believed in what they were doing. And I don't know, because I don't know her very well, in the sense that knowing what is going on in her mind, I wouldn't say the level of her faith. It's only God that
Because
can
she got
testify that.
tired. She got tired. You know, when you are treating it, just like when you are treating one problem and the problem persists, you have done everything a doctor recommended, you have taken all the medication, you have done all the therapy, you've done everything, you diet, so you've done everything, and yet that problem still remains. When they now say, take paracetamol, you say, no be paracetamol, I don't take. Take the Novogen. I've taken 1 carton of Novogen. Take this one. No, I have. You understand? Because you have taken all this, she has done all this, and the problem persists. So it gets to a stage where you start getting tired and frustration sets in. And when frustration sets in, you just go for going sake. Let me just do this. I am tired. I just want this problem to be over. So that is the mindset she now later had, until she found the best way to, live in peace with her spiritual husband, live amicably and peacefully with her spiritual husband. Right now,
you gave a very classic example using exercise. Let me now say something now. Maybe that will help us drive this point home. People will say, I'm watching weight. They will go pay for gym subscription, go to exercise and all of that. Even some will even have personal trainers. They will tell them, cut down on carbs, eat vegetable, drink water, eat fruits. And then yeah, I got it. They will finish exercising. The moment they are coming out from the gym, they are opening up a bottle of Coke. You understand? And they will
No,
gulp it
not
down.
that one. I know that one.
So it's,
Not that
it's
one. There
just
are people who do it religiously, and
uh
yet wait and they have.
so the thing is that it all depends on the measure of faith you apply to things, the measure of passion, the measure of determination you apply to it. Sometimes they will tell you things that are very rigorous for you to do, and you might not be able to like come to terms. I'm gonna give you another example. When I was in the university, a friend of mine, a classmate of mine, invited us to Mountain of Fire. That was my first encounter with Mountain of Fire, that they were having a program. So we all went. Then I had to carry my roommate with me. So we went. Then the next thing they said, okay, you need come, and then we don't join the deliverance group and all of that. They gave us fasting. We started doing fasting. Imagine 3 people in my room. We are doing fasting. Then going with my classmate. Then when in the middle of the night, I woke up to go and use the bathroom in school. I realized that my friend that was fasting with me was busy eating 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'll say, Julie, I went to fasting. She said, please, Unne, I'm not going to kill myself with this fasting. And I'll say, what if they catch you tomorrow when we go for deliverance? She said, how can they catch me? Are they God? And this girl chop her food. After chopping her food, went with me. Welcome, baby. Went with me for deliverance. And then the pastor did not, well, you did all of you fasted? Yes, pastor.
Yes.
I was looking at her, she was answering yes, pastor. So you see the thing, then if others are getting deliverance and she doesn't get delivered, they will say, okay,
Oh, yeah,
what happened?
don't go there. See, let me tell you something that happened in relation to what you just said now. I went for one deliverance in one church, is a Pentecostal church, or should I even call it a ministry, because they're just everywhere. So I'm not here now because then I used to go from church to church, like headless chicken. So I went for this deliverance with in one of these churches, and they gave us 4 days dry fasting. We are on the dry fasting, and on the third day, was it on the third or the fourth day? I was in the church compound, and then the pastor, we were praying, and then I went to get water because I had to sleep inside the church. So I went to get water from the well there. They have this well inside the church compound. So I went to get water. I wanted to use the restroom. So while I was getting water, the pastor, I was feeling so dizzy. I managed to get the water. Then the head pastor, the senior pastor now called, say, call so pastor from the pastor's quarters for me. I said, yes, daddy. So I dropped my fetcher. And I went. As soon as I knocked, the door was open. The door opened, and I saw this pastor. Behold, this pastor was busy eating while we were all fasting for 4 days. This guy was eating. As soon as I opened the door, the next thing he just said, Sister Blessing, please, I don't want you to think that we are fasting and I'm eating. It's just that we need extra energy to be able to pray and conduct deliverance. So let it remain between us. I say, yes, pastor, that's no problem. The senior pastor is calling you. Since that was how in fact, after that day, the 4th day, I ended my own fasting. I will not come and die. So anytime they're now fasting, I'll just be looking and say, how many of these pastors are fasting now? Are you sure they are all fasting? And they will tell us, pray, shake your. In fact, the one of Mountain of Fire, I almost fainted one day because they were like, pray. I was shaking my head. They say shake the head very well. Imagine somebody who has not eaten for 5-6 days. You are asking the person to shake head. I was shaking and I was feeling dizzy. Then I started throwing up. When you are hungry, I started throwing up, and the pastor was like, "Yes, bring it out. It's from the demonic thing they gave to you to eat in your dream. Bring it out." I was dying of hunger. You people are saying, bring it out. Oh my God! Yeah. See, forget. See, I don't think this has to do with faith. If you ask me, God, like you say, He will have mercy on whom He will have mercy on. So I think everything is just in the hand of God. Believe me, because if it's by faith, some of us have done all the faith. We've done everything. When it comes to this, we've done everything, and then just decided, okay, it's better to just go and beg them. Because when I get home, I'm saying this in Igbo. Because we'll give him what we need to give to him.
Yeah, but that's one thing. The Christianity is against that. You understand? Christianity will tell you,
Yeah,
if you believe in Christ, you believe in everything Christ and Jehovah.
yeah.
So every other
Mm.
thing is not, is going against that faith. You understand? And that's why they will not accept it, that you say you're a born again, you're a believer of the Bible, you're a
Mm.
believer of Christ, and you're still going to do sacrifice.
But
You
can I
understand?
shock you? Many of the
Mhm.
deliverance that were done, we were asked to bring certain things, certain items to the church. What were they using those items for?
Which of
Many of
which,
the deliverance that were conducted in churches for this spiritual husband and wives, they requested for items to be brought. Can I shock you with the
it
item?
depends on the church. Like I said, we have apostolic people, we have
We
prophetic
have
ones,
different
we have,
churches,
yes, we have Pentecostals, we have Pentecostals and evangelical are the same, and then we have Orthodox. So it depends on the
ministries
church.
now are springing up left, right, and center. We have
No, yeah,
ministries
it depends
everywhere.
on the church and their doctrine. I said that before. Their doctrines, in as much as they're all praying in the name of Christ, you understand? They have different doctrines, they have different processes. So it depends on the church those people went to seeking for that deliverance. But if the
But
person
it's the
is
same
going to,
items that a native doctor will ask to bring. It's the same items those pastors were requesting for too.
see, if you really ask
Yes.
me, if you really ask for my opinion, all those small churches that will come and tell you, bring this, bring that, they are not even doing any of those in just the way the Bible said it. They are doing it the traditional way, but because that traditional way is no longer reigning, you understand, they have to use the church to
Yes.
cover up.
Thank you. So they are doing it in a Christian way. They are doing those traditional things, but under the
But
guise of
covering up in
Christianity.
a Christian way, because there is no
Yes,
way.
trying to
I've
be
not read,
Christian,
I've not read in the
but
New
doing those
Testament, for
deliverance
example.
that way.
Yes, where they will ask you to go and bring red candle, white cloth, red cloth, chalk, and all of that in the church.
Yeah,
No, I've
eggs,
never
even
seen that.
eggs. They tell you the type of eggs, the native eggs.
Any
It
church,
has to be native eggs.
yeah, any church anybody
Mm.
walked into, and that's the requirement they're telling you. Just know that that is what a traditional place covering up with church. You understand? That's
Yeah,
the way I look
they
at
have
them.
come to the understanding.
I
For
don't
me,
know how
I
to
feel they have
define
come
them.
to the understanding that this is the way. No matter how much they
No,
try to
hope
bind,
they did
does
a host. They did not come to any understanding. That is the way they are seeking for power. So that's how the source of their power is. That other side is the source of their power, and that's the only thing that will help them to carry out whatever they are going to carry out. Most of the things we see now, they are using a one room and parlor to do church and all of that, and call themselves prophetic this, prophetic that, apostolic this, and all of them are prophets. You understand?
all those
Sincerely
prophetic. I run
speaking,
away anywhere I
yeah,
see prophetic. Also,
those are not churches. They are really doing spiritual things there that you can't even say has anything to do with Christ.
they
That's the
are
way I
mixing.
see
They are trying to marry the traditional way of worship,
it.
and they're trying to marry it with Christian lifestyle, like
Yes,
infusing two together.
yes, that's what
They are
how
infusing
I
the
look
two
at them.
together. Mm.
Absolutely. So, host, I'll be leaving you. Let me step down and
Yeah, thank you
allow you
so
to do
much.
justice to the remaining discussion you have to do today. And to everybody in the chat, please, thank you guys for being here and supporting our host. We really appreciate you guys.
Thank you. You are so amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. That is Oyoyo. Thank you so much. Oyoyo in Ducky's Kitchen. You can check her out. She does amazing things. She has Oyoyo's World, Oyoyo in Ducky's Kitchen, and Oyoyo Fresh. Please feel free to check out her channels. She's been very supportive. She's a sister and a friend. Boss Bay can say thank you so much, Queen. I really do appreciate you. Like we were saying, some of these churches are trying to do it. For me, I believe they're trying to do it the traditional way. Some of these churches, the prophets and prophetess will even take people down to the river and perform some rituals, do some cleansings and some sacrifices. That is the only way the spiritual husband or the spiritual wife can be appeased, because they have tried different methods and it isn't working. Try the binding and casting, it isn't working. A lot, in fact, to tell you, if any native any dibia online now turns on camera right now, you're going to see that 99% of people who are in the chat looking for solution. My spiritual husband is disturbing me. What can I do? I've been going to church. My spiritual wife has been disturbing me. What can I do? My spiritual wife has been breaking down my business. What can I do? You see that they are all there eventually trying to find a way out of it, trying to find a way to appease the spiritual husband or the spiritual wife. Now, the good thing is we all believe they exist, but how to deal with them or how to live with them or how to deal with their existence in our life is where we have different opinions. Because some people still believe in prayers and the binding and casting and deliverance. I have, if you are fair, just know that you have a spiritual husband, because so many pastors, the moment they see your complexion, oh, you're one, you're my, you that is fair, please better go and check, or you may have a spiritual husband. Because these pastors, the moment they see that you are beautiful and you are fair, automatically you have a spiritual husband. You just come with any problem. Maybe there's delay in marriage, or you've been jilted, or your boyfriend or husband. The moment you just come with any problem that has to do with relationship or marriage, they will tell you straight up that it is your spiritual husband that is causing the delay or affecting your marriage. Yes, they will tell you that. So for yellow purpose, back then while growing up, we even see that when you see those yellow fine women, say, hey, mommy water. This one is mommy water. This one is spiritual wife. That is the truth, because we see pastors and reverends doing this. You know, they just believe once you are fair and you are beautiful, hey, unya mommy water, and they couldn't know the pastor. Look at, you see how beautiful she is, like mommy water. You know, if the church works, why is it not functional, and why are they looking for the traditional worshippers? I don't know. Jose said that to me, that this one that is yellow like this, that you have a spirit husband. I laugh and laugh. What did I say? I'm telling you, if you are fair, you are yellow purple, and you are beautiful on top, you are go tall and beautiful, please, you automatically have spirit husband. Better go and do something about it. Go and appease, get your aja, go and do something. Don't go for deliverance. So if you know you are fair, that one will not leave you. Your own, they already hold your hand like this. Just go and Kazima Yodele, I think we Africans took this spiritual thing too serious and too deep than it is, which is why we do so much with it and see so much. Are you serious? What about the whites who have taken Halloween so serious, even though it's costing the lives of thousands? Do you know how many people died yesterday? This is just in one country. This is just in one day. We don't know how many people in America. We don't know how many people in China. We don't know how many people in Japan. We don't know how many people in Brazil. But people lost their life. Yet every year, people will come together. Don't they take it serious? They took Halloween serious because they believe in spirituality. Or we're going to say, okay, maybe the whites are doing it for fun now, isn't it? They're not doing it for fun. Everything has a spiritual undertone. Everything has a spiritual backing. Here in Brazil, there's a festivity. In fact, it is a Catholic festival here in Brazil. Where I reside is a Catholic festival. It's a Feast of the Dead. Feast of the Dead, and it's also done in the Philippines. I don't know if you're watching me. This is also done where you are. Let me know. It's a national holiday where they celebrate the dead. In fact, they go to the extent of excavating bones of the dead, adorn them with clothes and jewelry, and bring them home. They stay sometimes 3 days with these corpses of their grandfathers, grandmother, great-grandmother, great-grandfather, because so long as the bones are still there. They spend days and they celebrate, they feast, they eat with them, sit on the dining, dress these bones, you know, and they sit with them. You get the point? So they celebrate those things. It is we in Africa that we demonize everything we have. This is a church festival done here in Brazil, Catholic Church. In fact, it's a national holiday. They call it Feast of the Dead, where they honor the dead. If it's in your village right now that a feast like this is being celebrated, you will do, I bind and cast. I don't have anything to do with the dead. Hey, every spirit of the dead is dead. I don't have anything. They will bind and cast. Yes, Feast of the Dead. If you know, florists are making millions right now from flowers because of the Feast of the Dead is coming. You need to see people, the way they take this feast, they are making clothes, sewing uniforms, as in beautiful clothing. Beautiful, colorful clothing to celebrate Feast of the Dead. Let Feast of the Dead be celebrated in Nigeria now, in my village now. You will see that is when Christians will come out and tell you this is demonic. But the people celebrating it here in Brazil, they are Catholics, they are Christians. Feast of the Dead is a national holiday here, celebration of the dead, and they celebrate. They go to the grave, they go to the graveyard, and they dress it up, put flowers and all that, dance, eat, drink, and celebrate. It's a very important. Halloween also is being celebrated almost in every country, including you and I that are Africans. You and I from one village now. We will condemn any feast that is being celebrated in our village, but we will be quick to adorn dead costumes of dead bodies on ourselves and our children. We'll be quick to we can carry Harry Potter's flying broom, wear the witch hat, wear clothes sprinkled with fake blood, carry cross, wear black. Everything we will do it, and even our children will celebrate it. But let something as small as that happen back in my village now. That is when we remember that we are Christians and tongue speaking, spirit filled. The thing is, we are more holier than the Pope. We have become more holier than the Pope. Spirituality in Africa is downplayed, but the whites keep upgrading and upgrading theirs. Yet, as they are upgrading it, we are embracing it. We are seeing it that is a normal thing. No, this is just for entertainment. You think it's just for entertainment? Those who started it, you think they started it for entertainment? Hello, we are kidding. I would rather embrace my African traditional lifestyle than embrace the foreign lifestyle where I don't know the origin. I would rather embrace that of my ancestors than demonize it. We will not demonize Halloween. I'm sure a lot of people watching me now are celebrating Halloween. They celebrated. I went out a couple of days ago with my husband. I saw coffins everywhere. Coffins covered with white cloth sprinkled with red paint like blood. I saw coffins covered with black cloth. I saw skeletons hanged everywhere. Dead bodies. You know, it was spooky, scaring. Like when I passed, I was like, oh my God, what is all this? It was so scary. But they were having fun with it and enjoying it. The people hanged it in front of their houses, and their children are busy having fun with it. But when so we don't see that it has any spiritual undertone. There is no spiritual implication. And everybody celebrating this Halloween, they are all Christians. Hello, read my list. All Christians, born again, spiritually, they will go to church. In fact, they all went to church yesterday. They all went to church, but they all participated in this Halloween. Who are we deceiving? We are quick to always demonize and condemn what is ours. Instead of looking for solution, we'll condemn it, but we'll embrace the foreign one. Here in Brazil, Christians are celebrating Feast of the Dead. They're going to sit down and wine with their dead ancestors. Yes. They will go to the grave and sit beside it and communicate with their dead ancestors. They will pray and talk to them. Those who are asking for forgiveness or whatever they are doing, they will ask for forgiveness. Those who are praying for good things, for them to do things for them, they will pray. In the grave there, cemeteries are filled. In fact, if you go and see the way cemeteries have been decorated and cleaned out, you'll be shocked. Flowers planted everywhere. Beautiful roses, red, white, yellow flowers. They are going to sit beside the coffin. They sit down and with their children, and they're going to eat and drink there right in the graveyard. But try that in your village. That is when your village people will remember that they have pastors. They will come and start binding and casting and coming to pray against it. That the dead has no relationship with the living. We are living in denial. We have embraced, we have become more holier than the Pope. That's the truth. Even if you're a Christian, you can still respect your traditional beliefs. You can still practice your traditional belief even if you're a Christian. But the thing is, we have embraced Christianity and then now forget our identity, who we are. G Glorious family, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Welcome. Please give me a thumbs up, okay? Thank you so much. We have embraced it. When the first time I saw this feast here in Brazil, it was a church feast. And that day is declared national holiday. I'll be at home. My husband will be at home. Why? Because people are celebrating Feast of the Dead. They have to sit down with their dead ancestors. They have to go to the grave. They will sit there and pray and, eat and drink. They will come with snacks, come with food, and spend the whole day there at the cemetery. But let something like that be declared in your village. That my small village here. That is when you see you see rugged pastors. Everybody will get up and start binding and casting and condemning it. Who are we deceiving? If you know you have spiritual husband, I want to round up with this. Our problem stems from claiming to be whiter than the white, more Roman Catholic than the Pope, and more Anglican than the King Charles. Whoops! That is the truth. That is the truth. Rebecca, gorgeous queen, I appreciate you. And their children going to trick or treat. Thank you. They will give trick or treat to their children. They will go there and give them sweets and candies, tick. They will wear costumes. I saw a lot of costumes, ghost costumes, coffin, a lot of crazy, spooky costumes. But small masquerade festival in your village, you will claim to be born again Christian. Small masquerade festival in your village, your small village and my small village, we will not declare that we are born again Christians. But we'll come to foreign land and do Halloween with them. We'll come and wear costumes, crazy, horrible costumes. We will not see anything wrong with it. Even in your village now, they give you, they are celebrating the Mongo festival, masquerade festival. You'll be afraid to collect anything. No, they will kill me. They will finish me. They share drink there, you don't want to drink. But you will do trick or treat. You collect candies and sweet and leaf. We are the problems of ourselves. We are the architect of our own problem. We are the architect. You being a Christian doesn't stop you from recognizing who you are. Everything is not demonic. And until we understand that everything is not demonic, we can never be free. Everything is not demonic. We see everything as demonic. Everything is demonic where we come from. But the foreign own is not demonic. Oh, it's entertainment and beautiful, colorful. What is beautiful about Halloween? I want to ask you people. What is beautiful about Halloween? If it's a white man that comes and say, okay, for you to, I've seen where they do deliverance, whites do the deliverance of this spiritual husband, and the church uses incense. The church uses incense and cross and holy water. And then there is this other, the spiritualists here, the white spiritualists, they have other ornaments, other things they use to communicate with the spiritual husbands and the spiritual wives. They equally have it. Africans are not the only ones with spiritual husbands or spiritual wives. They are not the only ones. Africans are not. It's just that we are living in denial. We want to reject everything that makes us a people. Everything. We don't want to be identified with it. They sit down and communicate. Haven't you seen these people who communicate with the dead? Yet we watch them in movies and we are so excited. Oh my God, this woman is amazing. She can communicate with the dead. She can communicate with the spirit. Oh, look at the spirit. We see these things and they call them mediums. But for you to go to your own native doctor in your small village, hey, God forbid. But you see Christians who go to church, they still go to these mediums. The thing there is, let's not be holier than the Pope. That you are a Christian doesn't stop you from asking questions and knowing what the problem is. Everything is not all about binding and casting. And that is why we have churches scattered all over the country. Fake pastors everywhere. Because that is the only way they can milk you and I. Because we don't know who we are. We don't know what makes us as a people. We don't know what is happening to us. They open up branches. You go to one street, you see like 10 churches. Any man who can get a job now will just go and get a suit, get to dry cleaner, dry clean the suit, piam, or pass the bill, so long as you have a Bible. They start preaching. So long as, in fact, they will even go to motivational school and come and motivate you. Not preaching, just motivating in the altar. You start falling under anointing. That is why that is why they eat us. They just use us. They play with us. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry now opens churches. Why? Because we have refused to do the right thing. If they ask you to go and do the right thing and go and appease your dim miri or your spirit husband or your spirit wife, you say, God forbid, I'm a Christian, I'm spirit-filled. But you don't know where your pastor goes to do the things he does with the things he asks you to bring. You ask you to bring white native egg. You will not ask your pastor, what are you doing with that native egg? No, it is my pastor that said so. Bring red candle and white candle. You will not question it. Bring red cloth. You will not question it. Fetch sand from your father's compound. You will not question it. Do you think he doesn't know? He knows. We just have to be careful. The Christian doctrines will make you to hate your ancestors. They demonize, but will make you worship their own ancestors they call saints. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sweet Pea. Thank you. I really appreciate you, Queen. Welcome. Kindly give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much, Queen. Some kids are traumatized from this event Halloween. How some parents continue to celebrate this foolishness. Why lie to your children once you research and know the truth? Much love. Thank you. And these are parents who go to church. These are parents. In fact, yesterday being Sunday, they all went to church. Look at the number of people that have died because of this Halloween. They know. And then they say, no, it's just a celebration. Oh, the masquerade festival, the initiation in your village, they are not festivals. The initiation of youth into adulthood, they are not festivals. Somebody was telling me a couple of days ago that the initiation is demonic. Back then, before you are introduced, you are initiated into a particular age group, there are a lot of things that that you need to do for you to be initiated into that age group. Today, we call it, we have demonized it already. We have condemned it already. Did we not come from a place? Did we not have culture and tradition? Did we wake up to become Christians? We came from a place. There is a way of life. We have a way of life. There are things we practiced. Everything. So does that mean that all our ancestors are all going to hellfire, created by one white man? All our ancestors, everybody will go to hellfire because they are not Christians? Come on. It's time we learn to tell ourselves the truth. It's time we use wisdom. Everything is not demonic in Africa. We are quick to embrace the foreign ones. Halloween is not a sin to them, to these people. Halloween is not demonic. But tell them that the masquerade festival coming up in their village this Christmas. Oh, no. I don't associate. I don't relate. I don't do any kind of thing. I don't associate with all these demonic festivals. Oh, you are speaking English. But you will come and wear witches' hats and do Halloween. They tell you to go and appease the gods in water, to go and appease your spiritual husband or your spiritual wife. You say no. Your pastor will keep binding and casting. You've left that church, you go to another church, another pastor will continue binding and casting from where the other one stopped. For how long will you bind and cast? For how long will you bind and cast? We need to learn to tell ourselves the truth. I have never celebrated Halloween, and this year my kids just want me to buy them costumes to go for trick or treat. I said never. Thank you, never. Tell my babies never. No Halloween for them. Okay. Of course, they had to demonize our religion so that they can bring their own. Oh, Rebecca, thank you so much for this amazing super chat. Thank you. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you. Estelle family, thank you. Please kindly give me a thumbs up, Estelle. Thank you for, no, I wouldn't even tell Estelle because I know Estelle would have done that. Thank you so much. G Glorious family, thank you. I appreciate you. Kazim says, it is a good thing to celebrate or acknowledge our ancestors. But the fact is, both Islam, Christian, and others are taking too far. Okay, are taking things too far. Things change, we need to change. How do we change? Do you now strip yourself of everything that makes you a person because you want to change? Do you reject and demonize everything and then you open your arms and embrace the foreign ones? You don't. You don't open your hands and embrace the foreign one, then you strip yourself. It's just like stripping yourself of your own garment and then collecting another person's garment to don yourself. Is it not the same thing? Because maybe that person's own is white, the one you're wearing is black, and they've told you that black is evil, black is bad. So you remove the black, just as I'm putting on black now. I remove the black and I collect a white garment to make me pure. It is still the same thing. The thing there is, we want to be, I think we are hypocritical. We are hypocrites. We are hypocrites. For those celebrating Halloween, they don't see anything wrong with it. But I keep saying it, tell them to go to their village to go and celebrate New Yam Festival. A lot of Christians today don't celebrate New Yam Festival because they call it idolatry. They say that, in fact, they're doing it in a Christian way now. They go to church and they will bless the yam, they will eat. Some people don't break kola nuts, ordinary kola nut, they don't break kola nut anymore because it's demonic to them. They don't pour libation on the ground because they believe it's demonic. Come on, let's wake up. They don't pour libation, they don't break kola nut, they don't do anything that is related or associated to their ancestors because they see it as being bad. There is one Reverend Father I respect so much. I love that Reverend Father. That was when I used to go to church. He brought that concept of tradition, like, to some people may not accept it, but I think it's a wake-up call. He said, we call him Watamaro Menano, meaning when you know your tradition, you'll be able to know your religion, no church, no God more. If you don't know your tradition, you are a nobody. Because tradition, your culture is what makes you who you are. He started the New Yam Festival in the church then, bringing in masquerade. So people say, oh, you are bringing demons. You are bringing, but they will quickly wear Halloween costume on themselves and their children and go and celebrate Halloween. He started inviting masquerades to the church. He started bringing palm wine, yam, kola nuts, also, all those traditional things. He brought them to the church and said, these things are not demonic. These are the ways of life of your ancestors. I am a priest. My father is a native doctor. And I learned so much from my father. And I've come to understand that tradition is not evil. It is just that Ndocha wants it to be evil. They want us to abandon our way of life. They want us to reject and renounce all these things. He is a priest, an old man. He's been a priest for at least for over 40 years. He started the New Yam and people started eating New Yam in the church. They started bringing masquerade, drinking palm wine and doing all, celebrating and dancing the way it was done. But we celebrate Christmas. We don't know the origin of Christmas. We celebrate Easter. They say it's the reason. If we want to ask ourselves critically, did Jesus Christ actually died on Friday and resurrected on Sunday? These things originated from somewhere. These festivals have been in existence and then now inculcated into the church. And then because there's no any other day, they now feel, okay, let us take this thing from the pagans and use the same date as the pagans so that we don't have to have issues, celebrate it on the same day. Let us research and ask questions and stop demonizing everything in Africa. Everything that has to do with our culture and religion is evil. If you know you have a problem with spiritual husband and wife, please, and you have been having issues, let me tell you the truth. Stop wasting your time. Go and do the needful. Go and do the needful. If you know you are of age to marry, you are having issues, you marry, the marriage scatter, or you have any relationship that is leading to marriage, will eventually break up. Please begin to ask questions, make inquiries, and help yourself. The earlier, the better, so that you stop worsening case for yourself. Stop worsening the situation. The earlier, the better. The earlier, the better to free yourself. Good, your excellent choice, as your children will not inherit and raise their children in the same fashion to celebrate. Thank you so much. Thank you. Christian is not African. We have to go back to our original way of life. That is Cornelius speaking. You say, okay, I appreciate sweet pea. Yeah. It's only the thing that remains for him to do. Let him go back to the Omenana, the only way to life and truth. Yes, for those who still practice Omenana, for those who still believe in it, the best way for them, I keep saying Christianity is not the only religion in the world. If we want to look at it that Christianity is the only religion that will go to heaven, that will see God, that will eventually have a better life after death. God created billions of us, billions on earth, billions with different religion, billions. Are we saying that this merciful God will not cast all these people into the lake of fire? The people he created, the children he created. Man made religion. We had tradition before religion. Tradition has been in existence before religion and will continue to be in existence. Until we embrace it, we can never be truly free. God is a merciful God. It's not a wicked God that will cast, that will only accept those who said they are Christians. We have Muslims, we have Hindus, we have people. Over how many religions do we have in the world? With billions. Do you think God will now cast billions into the lake of fire because they are not Christians? Are we asking ourselves these questions? Do we really think that God is that wicked to destroy every other person and accept only Christians? Every religion believes that it's the one true religion. Haven't you asked yourself why? The Hindus, the Christians, the Muslims, the Omenana, that's the traditional worshippers, the spiritualists, those who practice spiritism. Everybody believes their own is the true way. So let us stop condemning others and learn to live. We are first humans before religion came. We all have tradition before religion came. And tradition is what makes us a people. It will remain because it is what formed us. It's the bedrock that formed us as people. I say again, if you have a problem, you know you are having intercourse in the dream all the time. It's not stopping. You have prayed and prayed. You've gone for deliverance. You've gone for justice. It's not stopping. Please help yourself. If you know you've been feeling the presence of your spiritual husband and it's destroying things for your spiritual wife, is destroying something for your business, work, and everything, creating, and you know it, go and ask questions and help yourself. The earlier, the better. Let's not stop deceiving ourselves. The earlier, the better. Christianity is not the only religion. Before you became a Christian, your ancestors all had religion before they came. Before the white man brought religion, they all had a tradition. They have culture before. They have a way of life. They have religion before they brought this religion to us. Don't denounce everything and demonize everything and embrace everything foreign, including their bad ones, things like Halloween and the rest of it. You can't step foot in your village and celebrate masquerade on New Year festival. Who are we fooling? Thank you, everyone, for your time. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's been oh my God, over 2 hours. I didn't even look at the time. Thank you. Thank you. Go and do our consultation to do the needful. Yes, if you know, you believe in it, please go and do. It's going to help you and free yourself so that you will not continue, having issues, okay? Go and do the needful. You know what to do. Let's stop living in denial. We're adults. I'm speaking to adults. I'm not speaking to children. Let's stop living in denial. If prayer and fasting, if fasting, binding and casting works for you, fine. If it's not working, please, you are still serving God. It is still God who gave people wisdom and understanding to be able to do those things they are doing. Our God is not a God of confusion. We are the ones confusing ourselves. Thank you for your time here. Really appreciate you all. God bless you. For those who are just joining me for the first time, please don't forget to connect with the family. Leave me a comment in the comment section, okay? If today is your first time, don't forget, if you come across this video, you're replaying, please kindly join the family. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me in the comment section, or you check my IG, Linda Linda Blessing Ezokeke or Linda Ezokeke, okay? If you need more information, you want me to get someone, you want me to give you more insight on this, please feel free to do so. Mary Queen, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up. You're already leaving, but you can replay if you want and get more insight. So thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. Mary Queen, give me a thumbs up, okay? Thank you, Kazim. You are amazing. Thank you so much for your time here. Thank you, Cornelius Okudinez, okay? Sweet P, Oyoyo Wanyoma, Rebecca. Thank you so much. You are amazing. G Glorious family, thank you so much. I appreciate you, okay? Yeah, who else will have a pretty happy? Thank you, guys. Collins, thank you so much. Black Beauty, I appreciate you. Like, you guys are amazing. You spent over 2 hours here with me. You guys are really amazing. God bless you all. Okay, let's meet tomorrow, same time. Okay, don't forget, same time here on Love Night Whispers. It's a pleasure to always spend time here with you while we discuss amazing topics. Okay, bye, guys. Have an amazing night rest. Okay. I leave you with this beautiful song, Peace of Mind. Peace of mind. You make me feel what I feel. You give me peace of mind. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
You give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind. You know my worries, you know my problems, be my baby. Oh yeah, you give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind. Yes, I need you, cause I want you. You're the only one for me. I'm coming home right after the party. The world is stressing me. I run to you, cause I know you got me. And you're my company. And I'm for you, you turn up. And you always come through for me. Peace of mind.
Estelle, thank you. Thank you, Estelle. I really appreciate it.
Your body still love and attention. You give me peace of mind. Baby, don't let me too hard. Just give me peace of mind. Please give me peace of mind. I like the best. When I take care of my life, take care. You give me peace of mind.
Rebecca,
You give me peace of mind. Because of my worries, because of my problems, be my baby. Oh yeah, you give me peace of mind. You give me peace of mind.
Good night, guys. Have an amazing night, guys. I love you guys.